Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. Remember last week when Patricia Benedict was at court and there was tight security and people were saying, well, they were calling out Pinder's name. They were saying bounty, bounty. I think it was this guy, the Thomas guy, Kishon Lamar Anderson Thomas, 26. Remember the guy who escaped from the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, and then his mom and his woman were arrested for harboring, aiding and abetting and that kind of stuff. And then remember the attorney that changed from being an attorney and went to a bail bondsman and bailed out the mother, and then went back to being a Pilgrim, Andrew Pilgrim. He went back to being an attorney. Remember that? Well, I think when Patricia Benedict saw all that commotion outside the magistrate's court, I'm thinking it was this guy. Here he is, Kishon Anderson Lamar Thomas. Kishon Anderson Lamar Thomas. That's who I'm thinking it is that they saw that day when they were thinking it was bounty. But anyhow, he's at the hotel in St. Philip, Dodds prison, and he is saying that he only gets outside to bathe, and they don't even give him a book to read, and he needs psychiatric counseling. And the magistrate is saying, well, I don't know what the schedule for that to happen when it should happen, so I can't speak to it. And he would say, well, I can't even see my children. I don't even see my mom, the one that he got arrested because she was harboring him. And he didn't talk about the child mother, but yeah. And then he's saying that he hardly eats, not because he's not getting food, but because he's so like distressed, and he's not being put outside to exercise. He's in prison, and he says, listen to this, he wants to go back to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Remember, he escaped from the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Remember that. He escaped. He was on the run for what, 10 weeks? He was on the run for a long time. You guys will say that Barbados is small. You guys will say that you don't know who his mother is, or you do know who his mother is. You don't know who his woman is. You do know who his woman is. You don't know his children. You do know his children. You talk out of both sides of your mouths, okay? So when you're saying you don't, you really do. And you had to have known that his mom and his woman and his children were all there in one house, and you had to have known or kept an eye out. Well, if he's on the loose, if he's on the run, if he's an escapee, maybe he'll be heading to his mother's house. Even the police should have had one officer in an unlicensed, or what you call it, unmarked car, like scoping the mother's area. But 10 weeks in little tiny Barbados, he was on the run, and he was right there at his mom's house. But anyhow, he is saying, I'm sorry, he is saying that he wants to go back to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. I was like, is he serious? Is he serious? After escaping from the hospital, why would he say he wants to go back to the hospital to escape again? And he's up for murder. They were harboring someone who wasn't accused. It wasn't arrested and accused. He was found guilty. He was found guilty of murder. And when Andrew Pilgrim went from attorney to bail bondsman, he bailed out a woman who was harboring a murderer. Okay? So he wants to go back to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. He is on remand after this one. Which one is he? He has been no. Let me get this straight. He is a murderer. He was found guilty of. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out who I'm going through. Okay, here he is. he was awaiting sentencing for the murder of Colleen Payne. Okay? Colleen, Colleen Payne. So Thomas was at the hotel in St. Philip, Dodds prison, and he was awaiting sentencing because he was already found guilty. And then what the mother's going to say, well, I didn't know he was my son when he was in the house. I didn't recognize him to be my son when he was under my bed, when he was in my wardrobe. Yeah, no. So whatever happened to her, she got bail, but whatever is going to happen to her, what is going to happen to the woman, and he's talking about his kids, and come on, you've been found guilty of murder. Okay, Kishon Lamar Anderson Thomas. When last we heard of him, he was 26, probably still 26, I don't know. He has been found guilty of murdering a female. Murdering a female is the same thing. Well, I don't know if he was friendly with a female, but these people in Barbados, they kill their women. They be killing their women. Well, at least he's still talking about his kids. But in other cases, sometimes the man kills the woman and the child or whatever gets tossed to the side, and then they have to be raised by the government. It's a crazy. It's no zone of peace. There's no peace. There's no zone of peace. Barbados has gone to the dogs. It's gone down. You've gone down because you see things that are really bad and you laugh because it's not in your face, it's not in your house, it didn't walk through your gate, so you laugh at it when it's not happening to you. But everything is going to happen to you. Everything that you laugh at, all the crimes and all the injustices and all the obscene things that happen that you laugh at, is going to come right back to you. Okay, so here he is at the hotel there in St. Philip Dodds prison, and he's complaining after he escaped and had the whole place in a mess. Well, what about the escapee? I ain't hearing anything more about the escapee. And are you looking for the escape? People were wondering because he was on the loose for a long time. So yeah, he's back there. When are they going to sentence him? When's that going to happen? So they're saying that sometime in December, he's supposed to come back to be sentenced. December 1st, that's a month left, a month from now. So stop complaining, Kishon. Stop complaining about the fact that you are in the cell and they didn't give you a book to read, and you can't get outside to exercise, and you can't. Is Colleen reading the book? Is she outside exercising? And is she seeing her children? Is she seeing her mom? Is she seeing the people that she cared about? Is she alive to see the people that she cared about? You took the life of someone, and then you're complaining that you're being inconvenienced? Is this for real? Is it really for real though? It's happening in Barbados. Kishon Lamar Anderson Thomas showed up in court, magistrate's court, complaining about the conditions at the hotel there in St. Philip after he killed a woman and was found guilty of killing a woman. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.